Hello and welcome to today's video. So I wanted to do a little bit of a meditation, hypnosis, just to help you calm down a little bit. If you're having I want to call it a phobia of some kind. If you're having a phobia come up, which is basically a fear, an irrational fear of something that is very real for you, but isn't necessarily something to be afraid of. And I think that's a really good place to start when it comes to phobias, because they, as I say, they can feel like there's something that other people might not understand about us. And it can make it feel even more isolating if we think we're the only ones struggling with this very specific, very niche phobia or fear, right? But the main thing to know is that phobias can develop in all kinds of ways that's beyond your control sometimes. So if you do have a phobia or a fear that is basically, has maybe kept you from doing something, as maybe that you wanted to do, that has maybe just held you back in your tracks here or there, then I really wanted to just create something for us here to face that fear head on. And just decide, after we've kind of meditated with this notion of overcoming our phobia, that we are going to be able to face this phobia and do it well. I'm going to set an intention with you that is going to help us to kind of draw out the most powerful parts of our energy for this session when it comes to overcoming a phobia. And then I'm going to just fan you a little bit with some flowers. And we're just going to take this step by step and go through the fear, whether it's irrational or not to you. We're just going to kind of face it head on and maybe rewire some things going on in there. See if we can, move some stuff about a little bit. So I have this crystal candle that I made with my son today. You can see at the bottom we used some clear wax on top of some crystals, which is a really cool idea that came to me. And a specific one, it smells of lavender and lemon essential oil, and the rest of this is coconut wax. And essentially I have started this tradition where every year around Halloween I make a candle or several candles to offer up as a honouring of those that have come before us, ancestors, and just kind of the notion that we stand on the shoulders of giants, so to speak. And for me, it just feels like a way to honour my body and this time that I have right here with you in this moment. And yeah, I find it to be a really sacred practice for me. Candles mean something to me that's reminds me of something very peaceful and calming, and just brings a sense of light, a sense of joy, a sense of hope in times of fear, and in times of despair, for example. So I just wanted to share that flame with you today. It's been made by me and Elliot, my 2-year-old son. He was very good. He was very helpful with the candle pouring, and I must say that's taken a lot of practice to get there. So we actually set up a calm corner over here. So this corner over here with the fake flowers, which actually I really wanted here because we used to have them we had them growing in our previous house, where we can find some calm and some peace and regulate ourselves, and to just have a little calm corner for me and my son to come to when we're feeling a little overwhelmed. So I would really encourage you to make your own calm corner as well. It's definitely a really good practice if you are someone that has emotional flooding, for example, or emotions just kind of take you over sometimes, and you need somewhere to regulate. Okay, so now that we've set some intentions to help us, guide us with some joy, some strength, and to also carry us through some of the harder times, that's what we're setting the intention with when it comes to creating and lighting this candle here today. We want to overcome some phobia. You can think of one specifically, or maybe two. It might be best to go with one, just to kind of really hone in on that one today. So what is one phobia you would like to overcome? You might start off with getting to know why you have this phobia. Let's start there. So I have these flowers, and we're just gonna swish them through your aura a little bit. Just breathing out, breathing in. Doing a little bit of breath work here. If you want to try and move some emotions, move some energy, you can do a very specific breath work technique that my husband, who is a hypnotherapist, taught me. And that is to do a 3 inhale breath and then release it all in one go. And you use 3 vowel syllables. So you use 1, 2, 3 breaths and then breathe out like this. Okay, let's practice that together. So you inhale the O sound at your stomach, and then the A sound at your heart, and then the E sound at your throat, and then release. So faster now, okay? Are you ready? Let's go. Ready? Okay, breath work is something that can really unclog some stuff, whether it be emotional, energetic, mental. I'm even getting a little bit dizzy now. So do that for 20 breaths or more or less, and you'll definitely be moving some stuff. Just a couple cautions here. With breath work, you got to know that there can be some pins and needles that start to happen. Sometimes I get them in my hands. But essentially you are getting more blood flowing to that part of the body. But sometimes what happens with breath work is that we uncover parts of our body that have been feeling quite numb. And so what can come to the surface when we do breath work is the feeling of pain or numbness in our bodies. But that's a good thing, because it means that we are finally addressing and we're becoming more aware of that part of our body. You may have been having like for me, for example, I've been doing this breath work. It's been helping me with quite a few things. Number one, I used to always bite the inside of my mouth, and thanks to working with my husband and doing hypnotherapy, I no longer bite the inside of my mouth. Instead, I just breathe, and I don't feel the need to do that anymore. Even though these things don't sound very healing, they are. Actually, two more things. The other thing that I found is that with a part of your body that you start breathing into, because it will just naturally happen where when you're breathing more consciously, the breath is going to go to parts of your body that have been starved of air. And so what had been happening with me with breath work is that the left side of my body, specifically my left leg, had been feeling numb. And what I noticed is that this numbness had probably always been there, but with the breath work I managed to move something through and became more aware of this numbness that was in my body. And then the final thing about breath work that I'll say here is that you may also have some emotions arise through you. So one of the examples is the other day, I was kind of angry at my toddler. He was doing something he shouldn't have been doing, and I found myself getting triggered, angry kind of feeling. So we came to this calm corner over here, and I just sat for a minute and I just started breathing, doing the breath work, and I started bawling my eyes out, started crying. So underneath the anger was sadness, right? With some fear of some kind. So the breath work helps you get deeper. I went to a very expensive retreat years and years ago, 5 years ago, and I did breath work there, and I didn't even like it. It didn't take for me, but actually it's been really helping me with my anxiety. So I really would recommend it if you can find a way to appreciate breath work. It can bring you into the present moment, help you become more mindful, and just bring you out of that constant need for dopamine hit and just becoming, maybe out of some of that self-saboteur talk and that self-criticism. The breath can just recenter you, because if you're having anxiety, then you're not being present in the now moment. You're thinking about something in the future or in the past. You're not here and now, right? It took me a long time to recognize that about myself. I was always trying to plan for the future, and I ended up having quite bad anxiety because of that for years and years and years. So just fanning you down while I give you some of these tips for your overcoming your phobias. Have you had a think about what it could be that made you a little bit fearful in the past of that thing that you're afraid of? Like, what is it? What event happened? Is something happened? Yeah. That's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big one. Yeah. Humans are infallible. They are imperfect, and the sooner you learn that, the better. Well, you've learned that, but the sooner you know that and just take the good with the bad when it comes to that, the better. No one really knows what they're doing here. Everyone is trying their best. Some people are wise and have lots of skills, but they still make mistakes, okay? So whatever your phobia is to do with specifically, I guess is at this point it's just a learning lesson that you kind of have to be there for yourself in the middle of all of this, okay? Just inscribing that into you, that sense of bravery. Breath. Belonging. And beauty. Because there is beauty wherever we look. We just have to find it. I have this pumpkin here and pine cone just to help us to settle into this season. So when it comes to your phobia, I just want you to imagine you facing this phobia, okay? So let's say you're You're in the midst of the phobia arising because the thing is happening that you're afraid of, right? And I want you to imagine that instead of like panicking and, you know, maybe having some things happen that you really didn't want to happen, and even if they do happen, it's probably not the end of the world, but see everything going the way you want, right? So, for example, you can see yourself in the middle of having this phobia. Maybe there's some panic and you start to do your breath work. Right? And then you start to breathe into the top of your head, like above your head, and just feel that connection to spirit above you. Okay, just feel that connection. Just let your spine lengthen. Feel that you're safe, you're protected, okay? And then bring that energy down into a few inches below your feet as well. Feel that connection with the earth, that stability, that groundedness. Just take a moment to feel those two energies meeting at your heart. So from the sky above you, all the way down to your feet. Below your feet into the earth, a few inches. And then energy is coming to meet up and below in your heart, and you breathe out. Okay, and again. Just meeting those two energies in the middle there. Okay, excellent. And you can just feel this cocoon of energy that's happening around you. It's like this effervescent, crystalline energy. It's kind of like an egg that is holding you, surrounding you in the midst of this phobia or fear. It's just holding you, it's getting you to breathe, getting you to feel inside your body, like you're safe here where you are in your body, you're safe inside of there. It's okay to be inside your body, it's okay to be at home at all times. You don't have to be too far outside of your body. You're just going to use your senses now. Use your senses now to take in the surroundings, okay? Just take in the surroundings. So you use your 5 senses to do this. So what can you see? What colors? What shapes? What can you smell? Can you see any trees nearby? They can really help to regulate you. Can you taste anything that you previously ate? Can you smell anything that's cooking? Can you smell perfumes? Can you smell the fresh air? Right? And then, can you touch anything? Do you have a squeezy ball that you could press maybe? Do you have maybe just even trying to squeeze your hands, squeeze your muscles in your legs, in your buttocks, in your wrists? Just squeezing that tension in your temples, everywhere, in your body, tightening your toes, your legs, your torso, all muscles in your body that you can possibly squeeze right now. Just squeezing them and release. You can do that a few more times if you like. Again, we're just taking in the surroundings, feeling what it is that we can touch outside of ourselves. But also we're going back into the body, and we're constantly regulating ourselves. We're constantly orientating ourselves to our surrounding, right? There's no room for panic here. There's no room for phobias because we're not overly in our head. We're just taking in what our five senses has to inform us about. What can we see going on in the room? We're not trying to be overly worried about what people are doing, or not trying to be overly vigilant about what's going on. We're breathing, and we're knowing that we're safe in our bodies, and when we're asked a question or when we have to do something, we'll listen to our body and we'll know what to do. Okay, so let's just take another breath here. I'm going to squeeze all parts of your body. Hold, 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 and release. Okay, excellent. I'm just going to do one more time. Okay, it's going to bring a little bit of tension. Just going to bring further relaxation. Okay, and in 3, 2, 1. Tighten every muscle in your body. And release. That's it. Okay. So, that simple practice, you can just repeat those steps over and over, and maybe we can do a little body scan together now. Got these gorgeous ostrich feathers, super soft, so we'll just use them to scan through you, okay? Just gonna start at the top of your head. Just notice any areas that may be a little bit sore or tense, and just breathing into them. Okay, all the way down to your feet. Just feeling that connection below you. You're supported. You're cared for. Okay. And all the way down to your feet. Feeling the tickle of that feather. Okay, there we go. From this state, you can do anything. All things are possible in this state. The only thing in your way is your own mind. So just blow that away. Just blowing out any of the anxious thoughts, any of